are you? I'm so happy that you're here with me. Ooh, we're gonna do a fun artwork today. So welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Let's make sure I got my comments on so I can see everybody. Yay. All right. I'm Denyse with Artist at Heart. I think you guys all know that by now, but if you're not, well, you don't know, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so first I want to say, I hope you're having a great day. I'm really excited because the sun is out here and I haven't seen the sun in a while. Hi. So the sky is blue, the sun is out, makes me happy. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel better when the sun's out. It makes me, sometimes in Cleveland, Ohio, the sun doesn't come out for weeks at a time. Crazy, right? But yeah, so it can kind of give you a weird feeling. And then when the sun comes out, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. So today I'm excited. Maybe even a cardinal will fly by the window. So I want to tell you guys a couple things. So in art, there's something called the elements of design. Okay. And so I am always teaching at least one of the elements of design in art as an artist. And I just want to make you guys familiar with it. So, and it was like part of my art test as a certified art teacher: color, light, line, form, balance, texture. Those are the elements of design which you are always incorporating at least one into the artwork. Well, most of the time we're incorporating more than that. So I want to show you guys. Hey, Amelia. Let's see. I want to show you guys. Let's see if I got this right. I pulled this up for you guys. Oh yeah. So again, since this is my virtual classroom, I always used to have this in my art room, but now it's virtual, so I'm going to share it with you. The elements of art. So today we're going to focus on texture, okay? So texture is the way something really feels when you touch it, or it's implied. So you create it so that it looks like it has texture, right? And then there's some examples: rough, smooth, sandy, fuzzy, slick. Well, today, you guys, we're going to create texture with our birds, right? So we want our birds to look feathery or fluffy, especially my little grayish tan looking girl. It's really a girl. But, you know, so you want to create the illusion of texture with how you're going to paint your lines. So that's what we're going to focus on today. I have another one here. The elements of art. So here again, this would normally be on my wall in the classroom. And so I'm going to share it with you virtually, the elements of art. So line. So you take a dot, right? You turn a dot into a line, whether it's curved, wavy, zigzag. And then when you connect the two ends of a line, it becomes a shape and a form. And again, texture, space, value. We work on all of these things all the time. I just want to make you guys aware that we're always doing some form of an element of design. And again, today we're going to focus on texture, along with all the others: value, color, shapes. So, but today's focus is going to be on texture, FYI. Oh, and I do. Okay, so it's so funny because when I teach a lesson, I look up fun facts. And I'm always like, oh, I didn't know that. So I learned too, you guys. I'm always learning. So let's go to, this was, all right. So here's my fun fact before we start. The cardinal is one of the most beautiful wild birds in the world, but it can be hard to find one standing still, right? They're always, as soon as you see one, they're gone. So it's not like I can be like, oh, pose for me, right? So yeah, cardinals like to come and go. So let's start with the practice copy. All right, my format is going to be horizontal. This picture you can do either way. You can make it vertical or in portrait style, or you can do landscape horizontal. It just depends on how much of the branch and the leaves you want to see. Okay. Yes, you guys, I will. So, hey, Emma, Bella, Irina, Susan, hi, you guys. So I will post the elements and principles of design in our private group, and I'm going to share the fun facts of the cardinals today. You know, I'm like, why, even though I'm virtual, I should really treat this just like I would treat my classroom. And so I definitely want to share, you guys, even though I know I'm teaching it, you guys don't necessarily know. So I will absolutely share that with you guys. So again, my format is landscape mode. I'm going to start with the cardinal, okay? So I'm going to start at the top, almost the center, but a little off center, so I have room for the other one. Now, initially, you guys, when I did this, I just had the cardinal alone. So, but I wanted to add the cute little bird with them. So you can do a solo cardinal, or you can have two birds, whatever you want. I'm going to start with a diagonal line here. I'm going to put a little tiny indent right there. As I come down, this is going to be the beak, okay? So let's go over here. I'm going to do another diagonal line for the back of the head, like that, right? So it's almost like a triangle. Now I'm going to come down. I'm going to go out a little bit more and back. So again, that's the beak. And I'm going to go down diagonal. And now I'm going to create the wing. So I'll just start a little bit on the inside and come out and down. Let me go over here. So here, I'm going to come in, because that's going to be where the other birdie is overlapping. His belly and around. Now I'm going to put the stick, the branch off. I'm going to just make it go off the paper. Come over, kind of arch it. And I'll add some pine needles, but yours, you could have leaves. Again, I'm just kind of sketching it out. This is my practice. All right, now I'm going to do the tail here. More diagonal lines. And then the other birdie here, it's going to be behind the branch and down. And then a diagonal line and the beak. And the belly. And now we'll go into the details. So here's the eye and the cheek. Let's go over here. Here's the line in the beak. And it's amazing. You just make that line go a little bit down and it looks like they're angry. And you make the line go a little bit up and it looks like they're happy. So I don't want angry birds. Isn't there a game for angry birds? No, I don't want angry birds. I like nice birds. Did you ever meet an angry bird? Let's do the wing here. And then that would be the belly, right? So here's the belly. And so again, we just created lines. And when you close the line, it creates a shape, right? And so again, if you want to create the illusion of feathers, you could do little lines of, of texture, right? Texture. So you could do these little lines together to create the illusion of texture, to make it look feathery. This is just practice. I just want to give you guys an idea. You can even put lines in your wing to give it the illusion. You could give it the illusion, little lines like that. Little lines like that. Little lines up here in the head. Right? Oh, I forgot the feet. Let's do the little, I'm going to arch it. They almost look like backward C's. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to add leaves on there, you can add leaves on there. I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. I got another fun fact for you. The male northern cardinal is instantly recognizable. Again, if you guys are outside and see a cardinal, you'll be like, oh, there's a cardinal, being completely red in color. The female cardinal has tan feathers with a red wash across the chest. So I have to tell you, I did not know that. So sometimes if I see like a cardinal in my bird bath or, in my fountain, and I think, oh, that cardinal's faded or that cardinal's sick, I had no idea that that was the female cardinal. So that's, again, really fun for me to look up fun facts and then find out information. So when I do this today, I'll do a male cardinal and a female cardinal. And so I'll make the female a little bit more tan and maybe give the chest a light red wash. Red wash would be almost like it's faded, a really pale red. I'll give you another fun fact. Cardinals are omnivores. Birds that are omnivores are birds that can eat both plants and animals. I'm an omnivore. Okay. I like plants and meat. Animals. Sorry, guys. I'm not a vegetarian. All right. You ready to move on? Okay, so let's go to our good one. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just using a black marker so you can see it on the camera. If I was by myself and doing it alone, I would be using a pencil. I'm going to start the same way. And again, you guys can turn your artwork any way you want. If you ran out of room having it horizontal, flip it vertical. Or vice versa. You just choose the platform and the dimension of how you want to create. All right, so I'm going to start here with my diagonal line. And then I'm going to do my beak. And then I'm going to do the feather here, just so you have an idea of placement, right? And then I'm going to come out here like this. And I'm going to do the diagonal line on this side. And where it overlaps with the other birdie, it comes in a little because remember that it's overlapping there. Then his belly and the birdie overlap. And we could do the other one. We could even give them names, right? It's so cute to name your creatures, your little birdies. I have a fun fact for you later. I just found this out as well. Do you know how cardinals were named? Do you know how they came up with the name cardinal? Think about it for a minute. Let's see if you guys know. And don't Google it. All right. So now I'm going to do this birdie's belly here. And let's do the branch. And again, my branch is going to go right off the page. And your sticks, your branches don't have to be perfect because you're going to cover a lot of it with leaves if you want to. I'm going to put, the reason why I didn't make it solid was because I'm going to overlap some little feet here. See that? I'm curving them. They almost look like little bananas or backward C's. Mine look like little bananas or a crescent moon. And then I'm going to do the tail. So my tail, so this one, look, I got so close to the bottom, even more than on my practice. So I'm going to go pretty far down on that one. So look, you guys, see, even when I do it, it's not perfect. I probably should have started up a little bit higher, or maybe his head's a little bit. Shh, don't tell anyone. No one knows. No one knows your mistakes but the people you tell. All right, so let's do this little birdie's tail right here. Let's do the detail. So let's come in for the beak. Let's do the line for the eye. the eyeball circle, a baby circle. And let's do this guy's details. So let's do his cute cheek. That's what I think makes him look so cute is his like little chubby cheek. And then his eyes are closed. Kind of comes down like this and around like that. You can even just kind of sketch out because you know his belly is going to be there. And again, if you want to put the texture in with your pencil, I'm going to just to give you an idea, the texture of the feathery, fluffy, right? You can sketch it in or you can add it later with your brush, just giving you the idea. You can also create texture with those pine needles, right? And yours don't have, right now we don't have any leaves on the trees outside, but we do have the pines. So the evergreens are forever green, right? So again, if you want to sketch out your pine needles or whatever kind of leaves you want, palm tree. I wonder if cardinals are in the South. I know they're a northern bird. So you guys, my Southerners, you're gonna have to let me know if you guys have cardinals. But you can make a palm tree. I don't know if cardinals go on palm trees, but I do know that there are pine trees a lot. So look, I am creating the illusion of texture with the way I'm drawing my lines. And I'll do the same thing with my brush strokes. So you would not want this to be solid green because then you would lose all that texture. And again, you could do the same thing with the feathers in the bird. Oh, I got it. All right, I was looking it looked like I was missing a line in my bird's face. So again, you can create as much as you want to. You could add, so just think outside the box. You guys could add hearts around this. You can add clouds. You could put a rainbow in the background. You could write a title. You could call it Friends of a Feather. That's the title of this artwork. You could put Friends of a Feather. You could put your favorite quote. So many things you guys can do to this. All right, let's go back to my fun facts. What do I did that one already. Cardinals eat the same thing as me. Plants and meat. Oh wait, no, I didn't say that though, did I? Details. Cardinals love to eat seeds, fruit, buds, and insects. Okay, I don't eat buds. Cardinals love to eat seeds. I love seeds. I love pumpkin seeds. I love chia seeds. What other kind of seeds do I love? I love sunflower seeds. Okay, fruit. Love fruit. Buds. Again, I don't think I've eaten too many potato buds and insects. Okay, I don't eat insects. No, thank you. You know, I went to Thailand, and in Thailand they were eating insects. I said, no. I love to experience the culture when I travel, but in Thailand, you know, I had to have pad thai. I was not eating bugs. I was going to skip that. I had a lot of eggs in Thailand, a lot of boiled eggs and rice. All right. Did I do that one? I didn't mean to. Okay, cardinals are non-migratory birds. Birds that are non-migratory means that they don't migrate for the winter season. So you guys know when all the birds start leaving. Actually, the birds in Cleveland probably come to the Florida kids. Cardinals are, or way out in Texas. You guys, Susan, it snowed in Texas, huh? Cardinals are non-migratory birds, and they prefer to live within a mile of where they were. Oh, it's gone. It didn't. Oh, sorry. There's only so much it lets me do. I didn't know that, but I'm going to finish the sentence. They live only a mile from where they were born. I feel like that's me. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, I'm about 40 miles from where I was born, but close, right? Not a mile. So I've lived here my whole life, but I do love to travel. So I thought that was an interesting fact that cardinals tend to stay where they were born. All right. I didn't realize, so that was a long sentence, and so I guess the program only lets me give you so much information at a time. Okay, you guys, so let's go back. to, oh, you know what? I have some posters too. I mean, some more pictures. Let's see what else I got for you guys. Before we start painting here, I want to inspire you. So here's, look at that. So this is what I was talking about. So this one is the male, right? And here's the female. So when I saw this out the window, I was like, okay, that looks like they're sick, but I didn't know that the females were more tan in color. Here's another one. So this is the actual photo, right? So here's the male and here's the female. So when I was saying the feathers are like red washed, see how soft they are? Almost like they're faded. So this is the female. Look at her face. She almost does look like a girl, right? She looks softer and sweeter. And then he looks like, I'm going to go get you a worm. So anyway, I thought that was cute. You could even do your, composition like that. You can redo it. You can do it again and again and again. You can make them into cards, right? Susan loves to make cards for people. I thought that was really sweet. So you can make these into cards to send people. There's one. So you guys, this is watercolor. And I'm going to start using watercolor in the future. I'm going to put up a supply list because I think we could change it up a little bit. So you can see how transparent it is. So see this right here where the pine needles overlap the branches. So watercolor paint allows you to do that. It's a very different look. It's very transparent, kind of fuzzy in certain areas. I think it's beautiful. And you get, again, here's the male, here's the female. It's just not as forgiving because you can't hide your mistakes. So I hide my mistakes with my opaque acrylic paint a lot of the time. And I don't tell anybody, I tell you guys, right? So let me show you a couple more and then we'll get started with the painting. Oh, I'll do the jokes later. I got a couple jokes for you guys. Okay, let's start painting. So I'm going to do my background first, and I'm going to do my, I do. I want it dry. I'm thinking about it. So I want to do my pine needles over my background, which means I want it to be dry. So I'm going to do, there's no way I could paint around the pine needles. It would take me forever. So I'm going to paint the whole background blue, including right over my pine needles. And then later, once it's dry, because acrylic paint dries really quick, we're going to go over it with grain. So I'm just taking some blue and some white, and I'm going to use some horizontal brush strokes because I like to see those brush strokes. And again, you don't want your blue to be too intense because you really want the focus to be on your birds. So I'm softening it up with horizontal brush strokes. Don't worry if you go in the line a little bit. Again, because we're using acrylic, and so you can just cover it up later once it's dry. So if you make a mistake, just let it dry and paint over it. Watercolor paint, you can't do that, but we're going to still experiment with that in the future. So it hasn't snowed here in a while. It's winter in Cleveland, by the way. If you're watching this recorded, this is being recorded in January. And it is, again, it's about 35 degrees outside, which is kind of warm for right now, and the sun's out. So I think I'm going to go for a walk. I've been feeling the need to get outside and walk, and sometimes in the winter it's hard because it's icy. We have something in Cleveland called black ice, which really means invisible. So it's like a thin layer of ice, and if you hit it, it's like phew. So I did hit a patch of it walking. This winter, I cracked my iPhone because I was listening to music as I was walking. And so I've been pretty careful since, meaning I haven't gone outside a lot. And so today looks like the perfect day to get out there. And again, maybe I'll see a cardinal today. I'll let you guys know. I'll take a picture if I can get it quick enough. So I just scooped up more blue, and look, so now it's not matching because I scooped it up without adding more white to it. So I'm just going to, again, go over it with some horizontal brush strokes. I'm going to go right over my pine needles. See, I don't like that line there. What do I mean by line? See how it's really light and then all of a sudden it gets dark again. So I'm going to just touch my white paint. I didn't even rinse it off and just blend it in there so it matches better. And again, I really want the focus to be like the pine needles because this is the background. So I want my background to be lighter and my pine needles would be the foreground. So the pine needles would be more intense in color to make it look like it's closer to you. Now, in reality, you guys know it's all flat two-dimensional, but we're giving the illusion like there's layers to it, right? So there's a background and a foreground. And I'm not even my branch, I'm not even going to worry about painting around it. Now, you can take your time and paint around it, but my branch is going to be brown. So I'm just going to let my blue dry and go right over it. Now, if you're using crayons or, you know, colored pencils or anything like that, just go around it. Take your time, go around it. If you're using acrylic paint, you can paint on top of it. If you're using watercolor or tempera, paint around it. All right, let's do this side too. So I just keep scooping up some more blue, some more white, horizontal brush strokes. Try not to be too intense in color. Soft blue is pretty. You could even do the background, you know, like sunset colors. So you could do it rainbow colors, sunset colors. It doesn't have to be blue. The most important thing is you want your birds to stand out. So you don't want a lot of red in the background, right? Because unless you're not doing a cardinal. Did you figure out how cardinals were named? I have that answer coming up. All right, so I went in the line a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to paint over it. Down here. I even did up through here. Okay. So there you go. And again, just to get it to where you like it. We're going to let that dry, right? So we can layer the green over it. Oh, I missed the little spot in here. There's like a little triangle in there of the sky. It's a little bit smaller on that one, but that's a little bit of the sky showing right there. Okay, so I'm reading Susan's comment. She said, yes, it snowed in Texas. We got 4 inches. It seldom snows in our area. And when it does, it's never enough to build a snowman. Lots of snowmen were made across the area. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I bet you everyone was so excited. I believe when it snows in an area that it doesn't normally, everything shuts down, right? Because there's no plows, there's no salt. Here, we get a foot or 2 feet of snow. And, you know, there's plow trucks, there's chunks of salt. It really, you know, makes the cars dirty. But, you know, it's, we're prepared for it. So, and we've had a few snowstorms, but in between, nothing. So at the end of my driveway, I still have a little pile of snow from the last storm, but because we got like a foot. So today it's melting. Again, spring? No, it's January. We know what's coming. We know what's in store for us here in Cleveland, but I'm excited for Texas. All right, so let's do the gray tan part of the little birdie because I like to work from light to dark. So let's get that. Now, again, if you want yours to look more like a female, you could do it in the tan colors. some brown. You could do it in gray. I'm going to try mine a little bit with some white and a little bit of, because again, I thought, does that look brown on the camera? It looks kind of gray. I thought that they were just, sick. When I see them outside, I had no idea that it was the female. So I learned something new. So again, I'm gonna kind of fill her in first here. So the sample one I did is more gray. This one is, I did brown and white. And to give it the illusion that it's fluffy, so that's the texture. Again, I can add the details to it later, but because, it'll be different brush strokes. So right now I'm just getting the base of the color on there. And I'm going to add a little bit more brown just so it shows up better for you guys. Right now it's pretty light. So this tan is a value, right? It's a light version of brown. This background is a blue with different values. So when you add white, it's called a tint, T-I-N-T. When you add black, it's called a shade. And then the tail. And notice how my brush follows the direction of what I'm painting, right? So now I'm using the brush stroke to follow my line. Here I followed the shape of my line. And if you want to make it darker in some areas with like little brush strokes, see that? I just took, now to me that's a little too dark, right? So I'm just taking little wispy brush strokes in that same direction of my line. Now, what can I do if it's too dark? Well, of course I can add some more white to it. I can do it now or I can do it later when it dries. So let's fill in the belly a little bit. The belly is really light, okay? So I'm gonna just, and remember they said it's almost, what did they call, washed, red wash. So let's take a touch of red and put it in there, right? It wouldn't be like, so to me that's too red and it wasn't so even. So brush strokes, you wanna see those brush strokes, right? So look, I'm doing little brush strokes, wispy, wispy brush strokes. And I'm filling in that belly. And you can even add some of that red onto the tail because it had like spots of red. I'm going to look for that now. Now we have to start observing cardinals. And again, you could even put a little bit up here on the cheek. You could put a little bit on the head. So when I showed you guys that picture before, it was kind of all over. I'll put a little bit more brown on my brush. So now I have brown and white. I didn't even wash off that red though. It's still on there. And you could add a little bit of white up here, like a highlight. See, that's too white. So I'm just gonna blend it in a little bit. And I could just make this a little bit lighter right here. Make this a little lighter in here. I'm going to do that part black. I'm going to do the black later so it doesn't get all over the place. How's yours coming? Is it looking feathery? So to create texture, sometimes you might have to go over it a little bit more. And again, I can always add more lines to it later. And I can make that cheek, same thing, give it a little highlight right here. Make it a little bit lighter in there. A little highlight on his cheek. Okay, you ready to jump to, let's let that dry before we get into the black. We can look, let's do the beaks at the same time so we don't have to wash off the color. So we'll save the beaks and the black for later. Let's go to the red and the cardinal. Take your time. And there is some orange in there too. So I'm going to start with my red. Let's do his head here. That's pretty intense, isn't it? So I didn't add anything. That's just pure, straight red. But you know, if you've been painting with me for a while, I don't like flat red. It looks like a cartoon, right? And it doesn't give very good texture unless I make the paint really thick, and then it would have paint texture. But I like when there's more colors and brush strokes, because this way, if you want it to look like a cartoon, then you could just do flat color. But if you don't want it to look like a cartoon, like I don't want to, I want to mix other colors into it. So I'll give you examples. We could mix some white. So I'm just going to take some white on my brush and put it on there and see what happens, right? And now I'm following the direction of the line, and it's getting to be like a pink color because red and white make pink. And the more white I add, the lighter value it's going to be. But I still want to add more interesting color. So guess what? I'm going to put, you could put orange, or you can add a little yellow to your red and make orange and mix it in there. And again, it can be as light or as dark as you want it. Follow those lines. And you see now it doesn't give it such a flat cartoon look. But again, people love cartoons. I love cartoons too. So if that's the look you're going for, it's fine. And again, you can add some orange into his cheek. Follow the shape of the cheek. Watch out that you don't smudge your brown paint. And maybe I'll make it a little bit more red right here. So without the orange, now I'm getting into the deeper red, just the plain red without the orange. I mean, I didn't wash it off my brush, but I didn't add any more orange. And again, you could just kind of mix it in there. Now, if you want to give it the illusion of a shadow, right? So right now, it looks like this bird. Oops, I just got paint on my background. So here, if you want to give it the illusion of a shadow, you can add a little bit of black or brown. Just, you don't want it to blend into your other bird, but something, let's see, what do I do with my black paint? Here, to give it like the illusion that it's overlapping. See, it almost looks like the shadow. So again, we're creating dimension. So the shadow would come up here too. So all I did was I used brown But you can do black. It's just black is so strong. And you can even put it on his belly down here. So follow that, that line. And we can outline it later just to make it stand out a little bit more if you want. Maybe put a little bit more orange in there. What do I do with my orange? Follow the line. And I don't see how that like little spurts of orange, I think that looks cool. So again, it's giving it the texture that it's feathery, but I don't want to keep going over it because then I'm going to lose the texture. It'll just blend into everything else. Excuse me. And again, if I outline it there later, once I start using that black. But now let's do more red. So here, his wing, we know that's the boy. It's going to come right here, right? Notice again, my brush stroke is following that direction. Here, I'll show you again. Flat, like a cartoon. The whole thing would be red. Let's make this feathery. So I'm going to do it flat first, just so you can see it. Flat red. See the difference between this wing and the belly, right? Because I was trying to make the belly look feathery. Oh, thank you for the bless you. I just saw that. I have to figure out a way to make my screen big so I can see the messaging easier. So again, see how flat that is? Well, so to create the illusion, again, I can add some more orange in here to give it the illusion of the feathers. So little wispy lines, mix it right on as long as the paint's still wet. But because again, this wing is in front of the belly, so we want the color to be a little bit more intense. And again, you can make it a little bit darker down here if you want to. So I just put a little bit of brown on my brush. Using those little wispy brush strokes here, little wispy brush strokes. I think the belly needs to be lighter. Maybe we put a little white in there. What do you think? Does that look better? I just don't want it to blend into my other bird. I want it to stand out. And then do your tail. I'm gonna make this one come up a little bit higher. put a little bit more white in there because it's kind of dark. Again, my brush strokes following. Little brush. Oops, that's really dark, huh? I don't want it to be that dark, so I'm going to take some more white. I'm going to overlap it in there. I'm trying to get them to look fluffy. Is yours looking fluffy? Can you guys see? I have my window open. Can you hear the birds? It's so funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, birds, because it's probably close to 40 here today. So some of the birds are out getting their food, huh? Came out of hibernation for a minute. Okay. Now, since I got the brown, and I want to do the little claws yellow, so I'm going to get this brown done so that we can paint that in later. So do your stick, and again, that way I can do the claws and the brown will be dry before so I don't end up with yellow and brown mixed together. Plus I want to do those pine needles and I don't want to smudge my brown either. And I know you guys want to use the black just to define all those areas, but trust me, be patient. So right here, look at my wing is blending into the stick, which I don't really want. So I could make it lighter. I could put in pine needles over it so it covers part of it. I think I'll make it a little bit lighter, but let's keep going with the stick. I keep calling it a stick, it's a branch. So bark has a great texture, right? It's like rough but it would take a long time to do some bark texture. So we can let that dry for a minute. And again, I'm going to just lighten up that tail a little bit right here, just so it doesn't blend so much into my bark, my tree. And we can do the beaks. So I'm going to make my beaks orange. You could add yellow to it. You could add some white to it. So mine is orange and yellow together. I'm going to put a little bit of white highlight on the top here. Again, to give it like some dimension, to make it look like it's more dimensional. You can put a little at the bottom too if you want to. Let's do this little guy. Gal. This is the gal. And if you want to add a little highlight of yellow, it did put a little yellow, like maybe you want to put a little yellow here just to make it, can you see that? A little burst of yellow. Just to make it more interesting. I had the yellow on my plate. Oh, and then we're going to do the yellow, right? That's why I had the yellow. But I don't want to bump into my brown yet. Hey, let's look for an interesting fact. I know I have more facts. Let's see. Aha! Remember before I said to you, how are cardinals named? Are you ready for the answer? Cardinals were named after the Catholic bishops. One of the northern cardinal facts that you may already know is that the bird was named for its color, which resembles the bishop's red robe. So a bishop in the Catholic Church is second to the Pope. So the Pope is the head person in the Catholic Church based in Rome, Italy. And I have been there. I actually saw the Pope a few years ago. It was unbelievable. And you guys, just so you know, I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I went to, through St. Gregory the Great for grade school. And then for high school, I went to an all-girls Catholic school. So I have 12 years of Catholic education. But I did not know that. So today when I read that, I was like, wow, are you serious? I had no idea. So yes, so that is how the Cardinals came up with their name. And okay, so now I am gonna I still don't want to jump into the black. You guys know how that scares me. So I want to do the yellow feet. So I'm going to be careful. My brown is not totally dry. And currently I go to a Christian church. Okay, so look, so my feet are yellow and they're on the tree, but you can't see it. I lost it because I didn't put brown in between. So I'm just going to go back in just so you can see it and doesn't look like one giant claw. I'm going to put a little brown in here. So now you can see it, right? And again, to me, right now, it's looking a little too, I want to lighten this up. Because I don't like, that's where we talk about contrast. I don't like how close in color the bird is to the wood. So I just lightened it up with some white. And I got to do the other guy's feet, right? Did we come up with names for our cardinal? So this is going to be Carl the cardinal. Does that look like a Carl? Carl and Chloe. Oh, I got some jokes for you guys too. I forgot. So today's jokes are going to be visual. They're going to be visual jokes. Let's see what I got. Oh, here's one. Did you hear the joke about the broken egg? Yes, it cracked me up. That's funny, right? So we have to do a blue jay one day. So here's a blue jay and here's our cardinal. And again, look at the color. So we have like oranges and white in there and black. right? And even the beak has red and orange and white, some gray in the wings. So, but the blue jay's pretty cool too. So there's one joke. I think this is a joke right here. Oh, here's the other joke. That's why I had to tell you about the cardinals. One day I'll be Pope, right? So the cardinal in the church is second to the Pope, and there's a lot of cardinals. So, and they do wear those beautiful red robes. But I did not know about them getting their name. So again, before we do the black, and I know you guys still want to jump in, and I know there's some of you that didn't even listen to me and already are using that black. But now I'm going to go into my green. Okay, so this is just flat green, just like right out of the bottle. So if you don't have green paint, it's yellow and blue together. And I'm just doing these little brush strokes. You can use the side of your brush or the tip of your brush, and you want to press very light in order to get those wispy brush strokes. You don't want to push down too hard, because then your bristle is going to spread wide and it's going to be really thick, wide lines. So it just depends on the texture and look that you're going for here. So I've got these wispy lines, just using green. I haven't added white, I haven't added yellow. I wanted you to see what it looked like. And again, you can make that green go all the way up to the belly. You can make it overlap onto your stick. Wispy, wispy lines, uneven, crisscross. Again, right now I haven't added any other color but the green. Now I just bumped into my wet brown paint, so I got a little bit of brown. Shh, no one knows, remember. We talk, no one knows your mistakes but you. So look, I just mixed my brown in. I didn't mean to bump into it. I didn't even know it was still wet, but it is. So I just mixed it in there and no one knows. I can overlap it on the brown. I can go in between here. Again, if your brown's still wet, you can wait a little bit. You could do it in the middle here. Watch out for those wet yellow feet. And you can go down as far as you want to. I can't wait for you guys to come on and show me your creations. I'm almost done. I can't wait to see what you're doing. So see how flat that green is? Just green, flat paint. And again, that's the look I'm not going for. I do like the texture illusion that it's giving it. I like the sky poking through. I leave as much here. I do like overlapping it in some areas. So watch now when I add a little bit of yellow. I just put yellow on my brush. And I'm just going to see what you guys think. Does it make it more interesting? See, to me, that looks better. And I could throw some white in there. I'll throw some white in there and see what you guys think. I just put white right on my brush. So my brush has green and yellow and white on it. What do you think? How's yours coming? Oh, I gotta do the black still. I'm like, oh, we're almost done. But no, gotta do the black. I finished. Amelia said I finished. Amelia, what are you using today? Amelia's been doing a lot of the little clay things, which is really cool. Are you painting, Amelia, or are you using clay? All right, let's see if I can do the black. Now, you guys, you can go real slow and use a tiny brush for your black. I don't even know what I did with my black paint. Hang on. Look, I didn't even okay. I did not even put my black paint out on my plate because I bump into it. So now I have my black paint. I'm going to use the smallest paintbrush that I have. You can wait for it to dry and use a marker. So let's go. Here's black. See, all of a sudden it pops out like that. Curve around here, go slow, take your time. Again, if you feel better using a marker, use a marker. As long as your paint's dry. See how it just pops out? Pop. I'm going to give you the link. I don't want you to disappear on me. I want to make sure you guys come up. Come on. Oopsie. I forgot to turn the sound off. So FYI, I know you guys know this already, but we're on a slight delay. So you guys are maybe 8 to 10 seconds behind me. That's why it's so important to turn your volume down. So when you come on the screen, turn your Facebook volume down or your YouTube volume, not your computer volume so we could still hear you. But if you turn down the volume on Facebook or YouTube, then you won't hear that echoing in the background because you're on a delay, just for safety reasons. I'm going to do a little black over here. You guys can even outline it if you want to. Here, this line is a little bit softer. It's not so. Okay, and then this is black here. So Amelia's here. Let's get Amelia on here. Hey, Amelia.
Hi.
Let's see what you made. Oh, that's great. That looks really nice. You did a good job. Did you name your birds?
Yes.
What?
This one is Elliot, and this one is Lulu.
Elliot and Lulu. That's so cute. Good names. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. My favorite part. Right? So let's do this. And again, if you want to, outline it, you can outline it. And then I'm thinking in the inside of the eye, what color did I do it? I actually put a little bit of orange in there. So if you guys want to do, let's see how that looks. In here. Now my black, I should have done it before the black. I'm going to try so hard not to bump into it. So you could do the eye. I think it would be better, a little bit browner. Put a little brown in there. And then I lost, right? I lost my dot. I lost my little white dot because I didn't go slow enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my handle on my paintbrush and dip it upside down and then put a white dot. See? And then put a white dot. You still can't see it great, but I have to be patient and let it dry. Be patient, let it dry. I'm going to do also, this one has more texture on the head, so I'm just going to go, oop, there's a lot of brown on that. Let's try some. So it's not so flat, right? Oops. All right, I still haven't perfected these ear pods yet. It almost made it the whole time, but it popped right out. One time, did I tell you guys how it popped out, went right into my paint? It's looking better. This part here, I want to soften up a little. His eye looks so weird. I'm not feeling that eye. I'm gonna put a little bit more black in, like the pupil in the middle. That looks better, right? That's the black. So I just put a black. That other thing I didn't like too much. There, now he looks cuter. And if you want, you guys, again, you can wait for it to dry and use a marker, or you can paint in a thin little line in his mouth. You can outline his beak here. Maybe in here I have a little bit, it's a little bit darker in here for kind of show the separation between the two. Well, hi, girls.
Hiya!
Hey, do you have cardinals in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually, some visit. Also, this one.
Oh, he's cute. Love that hair. He's a punker. A punk rock cardinal.
Yep.
So do the cardinals go in the palm trees?
I think so.
Sometimes,
Yes.
I don't know.
It's
kind of hard for them to like stand on the palm tree.
The only thing.
I don't know actually.
The
they
thing.
might.
The thing I remember that I kind of want to say is that I once saw a woodpecker in the palm tree, but it was a little bit more red, so it might have been a cardinal.
Interesting. And Emma, what were you going to say?
I don't know already. I forgot.
So you guys having fun? I love how your cardinal stands up on his own. That's so cute.
Yeah. He has little feet.
And
then there's a speaker right there. He used to chirp whenever you walk by or something, and
It was too much.
it was just too annoying.
Yeah,
So we took it out the battery.
I can imagine it was too annoying. So you want to show us what you got, or you want to wait a little bit?
Okay, so this is my picture.
Oh, that looks great. Your eye came out great. I'm messing up my eye a little, but that looks really nice.
Okay, be warned. Like always, I am not done.
Why you don't fold your artwork? Oh my gosh. That looks great. Don't fold it though. I love it.
Some shading going on here.
Yes, I like the shading. You guys are doing awesome.
Thanks.
All right, you're lucky that it didn't smudge when you folded it in half. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna make a print. All right, you guys, hearts to you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye,
Oh,
Denyse.
thank you.
Bye, thanks.
You try.
Oh, huge, I like it. Oh my gosh. So Reagan, I know Reagan's watching on YouTube today. I don't know if Reagan's not able to click the link. Let me check my phone. All right, so I know there's a, sorry. So Reagan, I don't know if you can't see the link on YouTube, and I know I put the, I wonder, I know Reagan wants to come on the screen. Let's see if I can pull up my YouTube and see if I can find Reagan. Reagan, hold on. Yay! Oh, yay! Hey, Reagan.
Hi.
So, are you on YouTube today?
Well, I was, but then I don't know if you can comment or not, and I couldn't figure out how to comment, so then I switched to Facebook.
Okay, and that's what I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if people can comment on YouTube.
Yeah, like the buttons are all different, and I couldn't figure out how if you can.
Got it. So, well, we're glad you made it. Very nice. I love it. They're cute. I can't wait to see a picture.
I'm at my grandparents' house, and they have a lot of cardinals in the backyard.
Do they? And have you noticed the difference in the red color and then like the tannish? Yes.
You can tell.
Did you know that the tannish ones were female?
Yeah.
Okay, how did I not know that? I thought that they were faded, like they had a sickness or something. So anyway, I'm glad it's female.
Yeah.
So thank you. I hope you're having fun at your grandparents.
I am.
Are awesome. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Awesome. All right, that was an awesome art class, right, you guys? So I will post the elements and principles of design for you guys in the private group. Please share your photos with me, and I will see you guys again soon. I hope you like this 1 o'clock time spot, so let me know, and we will see you again soon. Bye, you guys. Be happy, make art, send pictures. Stay healthy. God bless you guys.